Hey there, it's Mike Cooch. And, I'm getting asked all the time, what are my favorite books and resources that I've learned from to help me think through, starting a business and running a business. And I am a big fan of books. Okay, it's funny because I think I made it all the way through college without actually reading a book cover to cover. Maybe a slight exaggeration, but pretty close. But then once I discovered entrepreneurship and I discovered my passion around that, I have since read hundreds and hundreds of books on everything related to starting a business, growing a business, managing it, selling it, sales and marketing, all that good stuff. I have just been a voracious consumer of books. So I have, out of all of the books that I've read, I have a handful of them that I just constantly refer to and I feel like have been just absolute gems for me in thinking through businesses and how to build and run businesses. So in this particular video, I am going to take you through the books that I would recommend if you are still thinking about starting a business and you are not yet sure exactly what it should be, exactly what market you should go after, exactly what your business model is, and you're trying to answer those types of questions. Should I start this with a partner? Should I, give people equity, all that type of stuff? These are the resources for you, okay? First one is called The Star Principle. Nice, easy little paperback book. It's a fantastic book, and it's from a consultant turned investor who used this STAR principle as his way of evaluating which businesses he was willing to invest in, and it has served him very, very well. And it's a model that some pretty famous investors use as well. The thing I like about it is it's just a very, very practical, simple kind of litmus test that you can use very, very early on in the process of considering an idea. If you're an entrepreneur like me, you've got ideas all the time. You need to be able to relatively quickly say, nah, you know what, that one actually doesn't make any sense. I need to get that one out of my head and go focus on one that's got a better opportunity. Star Principle is fantastic for that, okay? And again, nice little paperback, easy read, highly recommend that everybody has that. Okay, the next book is called The Founder's Dilemmas, okay? The Founder's Dilemmas, big book here, famous in Silicon Valley in particular, written by Noam Wasserman. This book answers all of those questions that every entrepreneur asks, like, should I have a partner or should I start it on my own? Should I pay somebody stock or just pay them a salary? If I give them stock, how much? For that particular role, what percentage of the company should they get? Should I keep more than 50% ownership? Should I let investors have voting rights in my company? All those types of questions that you will eventually ask if you're thinking about starting a business. This book is the best book that I found to answer those types of questions for you. The next one, again, big, thick book here. This one's called The Startup Owner's Manual, the step-by-step guide to building a great company. It's from a gentleman named Steve Blank and Bob Dorf, but Steve Blank in particular, famous, serial entrepreneur turned author and kind of professor on entrepreneurship. And this is a fantastic book when you're trying to, I think, initially learn in particular all of the kind of components that go into building a business, all the things that you have to think through and get in place to build a good, healthy business. It's a fantastic resource. It's practical and has a lot of just kind of useful tools and frameworks in it, but it gives you the big picture. Hey, you're going to get on this startup journey. Here's what you're getting into. Now, the next one, you got to figure out a strategy for your business, right? Shouldn't go and just start a business without getting clear on, here's my strategy for competing and winning. Here's how I'm going to be different. But I think for a lot of entrepreneurs, strategy seems like something that's only for, big companies, Fortune 500 and expensive consultants and stuff, right? It's not really, there's not a lot of tools out there that are really practical for entrepreneurs to help them develop their strategy. Blue Ocean Strategy is a really nice practical resource on how to think through, in particular, how to think through this market that I'm going into. How are people currently competing in that market? And how am I going to attack it from a different perspective? How am I going to stand out by being different? Really, really nice resource for that. Next strategy book, The Inside Advantage from Robert Bloom. This is my favorite strategy book for entrepreneurs. This one really shows you how to bring your strategy to life on a daily, practical, tactical level. You know, when the rubber meets the road and you're interacting with customers and you're selling stuff, how do you make sure that your strategy is not just some, pie in the sky thing? It's actually something that's being brought to life every day at your business. Awesome resource. Okay, now, once you have determined, okay, here's what I think I'm starting, here's what I think my overall strategy is, you've got to get that documented in some way that you can share it with other people and communicate what it is. And that used to be that people would write up a 100-page business plan. That was outdated, the moment you finished it, and that was a terrible process. This book is essentially how to capture your business model and your business plan in a nice, single, graphical tool. It's a one-page graphical canvas, and it just makes it a really nice way to document and communicate what the heck it is that you're trying to do at your new business and your startup. I was just looking to see if I could find some images of it. Here it is, just this nice, simple little one-page graphical canvas. And the great thing about that is it's simple, it's one page, it makes it easy to communicate, easy to understand, and then also easy to document changes, okay? Because your business model and some decisions around your business model are going to change frequently. When you get out into the marketplace and you get real feedback from customers and stuff like that, and you see, oh, that didn't work, and now we need to go back to the drawing board. So what's nice about this, what we do is, you create a V1 version. Let's say it's January 1st, 2017. I'm starting my business. Here's my V1 business model canvas. And then at the end of the first quarter, you've gone out and you've experimented and tested and tried some things out in the market and you learned a lot. Now you come back and you make a V2. And you make it, on a separate sheet of paper so that you can see side by side. Okay, 3 months ago, here's what we thought. Now, 3 months later, here's what we think. And then you can just keep on doing that. It's a very cool way to document the history of your business. And then last but not least, once you've come up with your strategy, your model, all that type of stuff, you ultimately have to develop something that you're going to get out there and sell, right? You've got to develop some sort of product or service that you're going to get out there and sell and somebody's going to exchange money for. Okay, that's what this is all about. The 4 steps to the epiphany. This is also from Steve Blank, who we mentioned earlier. Successful strategies for products that win. Okay, so this is how to actually develop the thing that you're going to sell, right? This is how to, give it shape, determine what features are going to be in it and which features aren't going to be in it, where your boundaries are for the product, and then take it out in the marketplace with a certain price point on it, and then get that feedback, and then come back, make revisions, continue to develop your product over time. This is really where the rubber meets the road. So that is the 4 steps to the epiphany. Okay, so the 4 steps to the epiphany: business model generation, The Inside Advantage by Robert Bloom, Blue Ocean Strategy, The Startup Owner's Manual by Steve Blank, The Founder's Dilemmas, and The STAR Principle. If you're considering starting a business and you've got that idea running around in your head and you're trying to figure out, is this an idea worth pursuing, and do I have a clear strategy and a clear model for it, I recommend that you go get these books today.